All right. And then, so next up, I'm going to introduce myself and then let the panelists introduce themselves, and we will get started. So I am Mary. I am the Associate Director for Recruitment at Arkansas. I've actually only been in this position for a few months. I've been at Tech for almost a year, but I started this position and then we went remote. So I am living a new experience every day. This was kind of one of my little baby projects, and I'm super, super excited to have all of you participate. So Morgan, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name's Morgan, and I'm a recruiter for Arkansas Tech. I graduated from Tech with my bachelor's degrees in 2018. Now I'm going here for my master's, and I work here. So I can answer a lot of questions from a lot of different views if you have any questions on student stuff. And yeah, that's Morgan.
Yeah. Alex, you want to go next?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everybody. My name is Alex Phillips, and I work in the Student Accounts Department here at Arkansas Tech. A little about me. I got my bachelor's here in 2017, got my master's here in 2019, and I work here as well, of course, about 3 years in. So I just love Tech, as you can tell. So I'm happy to see everybody here, and hopefully you guys have a great semester. So.
Say Heather or Tammy, any of y'all, Tanda, one of y'all can go ahead.
I'll go next. I'm Heather Taylor, and I'm the Associate Director in the Financial Aid Office. I'm a little bit older than the other two. I've been here, it'll be 18 years next month. So I received my bachelor's and my master's here at Tech, so I love Tech. And even though I've been here 17 years, financial aid is constantly evolving and it's different every year. So you know, it kind of keeps me on my toes, but hopefully I can help you with anything, any kind of questions you guys have with financial aid.
Meredith, you want me to go next? Guys, I'm glad y'all are all here today. I'm Tammy Weaver, and I serve in the position of registrar, and I will hopefully one day be assisting with handing you a diploma at the end of your career when you want to get a degree. But I've been at Tech 36 years, and I did get my undergrad and master's degree at Arkansas Tech, and Tech has grown so much over the years, and I think if you get a chance to come to campus, you will love the community here. But we hope to answer lots of questions for you, but our office does transcripts and helps you with registration, and we're in charge of graduation.
And I'll go ahead next. I'm Tana Morrison. I work with Miss Tammy in the registrar's office. I also graduated with my bachelor's and my master's from Arkansas Tech, and now I've been working there for 7 years. I'm happy to help you with any of your transfer credit questions.
Thank you, everybody. So I'm going to start with a couple of frequently asked questions that we get in the admissions office. And then while we're doing that, y'all think of all your questions and then just have them ready for us. You can drop them in the chat and I will read them, or feel free to unmute yourself and ask it. We love the interaction and encourage that. So first up, and I know this is a super popular one. So Heather, how do students see their financial aid?
Okay, how can students see their financial aid? Okay, what you guys will do is you will log into your OneTech, and you should have a OneTech ID, like mine is H. Taylor, so yours may be your first initial of your first name and last name and a number possibly. It should be, you guys send those on your admissions app or the approval. Okay, yeah. So whenever you guys get admitted, your letter should have had that on there. But you'll go onto the OneTech, and on the left-hand side, there's a like a little, oh, what do you call it? Directory, and it says tuition and aid on there. So you'll click on tuition and aid, and then on the very far side it says financial aid, and there's a spot on the bottom, and it'll tell you anything that you have outstanding. So if you haven't turned in a document, or if it's incomplete, it'll have a red flag next to it. If it is a green check, then you guys are good. If you've got everything green checked, you're good to go. You should be packaged. So you'll click on financial aid awards, On that financial aid awards for the fall, you're going to click the 2021 aid year. And if you click that, then it should show you, we offer everything. So if you're eligible for Pell Grant, the Pell will show on there. We offer all student loans. You do not have to accept your student loans, but we offer those. And if you have accepted an Arkansas Tech scholarship, that will also be on there. Challenge is estimated. I don't know if anyone will ask this, but I'll go ahead and touch on challenge, or the lottery scholarship is probably a lot of you know it as. That one is going to show as estimated as of right now, because what happens is we estimate it for all freshmen, and then once you apply and ADHE sends us the roster, normally it's around the middle or end of July, but with this virus, we're not sure how quick they're going to get it to us this year. But once we receive that, that'll be taken off of estimated and actually put on as an actual charge. So, and if it shows, we package everybody as soon as we get your FAFSA. So if it shows estimated aid on there, that means you have some red flags that need to be taken care of. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Awesome. Feel free. And again, if you have a question later on, please ask, because someone else has the same question, I'm sure. So on a similar note to that, when do I pay my bill and how does that part work?
Okay, so that was for me, I assume. Okay, so just some payment options we have here in student accounts. You can pay with debit, credit, an e-check option, which is your banking and routing number. Hopefully if everything goes as planned, we'll of course, be here in the fall. And so you can come in our office and pay with cash as well. We have about 3 people up front that can help you out. And so we also have payment plan options as well that we offer through the semester. It breaks it up into 4 equal payments. And also in a later date, we do 3 equal payments. So those are just some options that you can do in order to pay on your account. And we'll let you know too, way before we'll send out electronic bills for you guys. And that way you guys can keep up to date with everything. And then if you have questions for us too during this process, please don't hesitate to contact us because we'll be here. So.
Great. So on the same funding type of theme, if a student is expecting a refund, say they have additional aid or scholarships or whatnot, how does that process work? Can you kind of walk us through that?
Yes. So additional aid, so how it works with, Heather can probably feed off what I'm saying too. After they package it, we can see on the student's account authorized aid is what we call it. And so we see that, and so we can just subtract it out. Or if it's a refund, we know, students don't have to worry about that if we can see the authorized aid covers their tuition and fees, of course. So that's usually what we do. We just see the difference, or we just see that people are, have enough aid to carry over. So
kind of piggybacking off of Alex, if you guys, since you're a freshman, if you decide to take out student loans this year, all freshmen have a 30-day delay. So it's 30 days after the first day of classes. So somewhere around probably the middle of September, your loans are going to pay. But if you've already accepted a loan, you've noticed on there, you have to complete a promissory note and entrance counseling. As long as both of those things are done, the loan will actually memo over to Alex's side to where she can see, you have this money coming in. So you're not going to have to pay that portion. So don't panic if you say, oh man, I've got $2,000 worth of loans and I owe $1,500. Alex and student accounts can see that. I believe they'll still send you a bill. But as long as that's on there, you guys will be good. It's just you won't, if you are due a refund off the loan part, you won't get it until probably the middle of September. So just kind of give you a heads up on that.
Yes, that is definitely good to know. Okay, so changing gears a little bit, how do I get my student ID?
Yes, that would be speak for Miranda. So we have 2 workers in the card office, Miss Miranda and Miss Kathy. They are doing a process where you can either email them our student account, student accounts email, and but usually students will come in, once we open, they do come to our office, Brown Hall, Suite 241, and you can issue it there. But you also can do the student accounts email, student.office@atu.edu. and let them know with your name and T number, you know, you need an ID, and that's how they are doing the process from my understanding. Can't quote them, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing now.
Awesome. Okay, so now I've got a few registrar questions. So a student, say some of you have already registered for your classes for the fall, but you want to change your schedule. Tammy, can you kind of go into a little bit of that?
Yes, you actually will work with the Academic Advising Center to do a schedule change if you are a first-time entering freshman. Now, if you are a transfer student that had lots of hours and transferred, you may be working with an advisor in your actual department. So freshmen will contact the Academic Advising Center, and you can easily find the Advising Center if you go to the Arkansas Tech website. And I love using the A to Z menu. You can click A and you'll see Academic Advising Center, and it'll put you right to an email. It'll put you to a phone number. And then there are pictures of the actual advisors there too. So if you actually got to meet your advisor, you can click on their name and just let them know what you want to do, what you want to adjust. Then if you're working with an advisor in the department, say you're a history major, you can go to the A to Z and go to the H's and click history, and you will see the advisors listed there. There are email addresses and phone numbers. I really advise you to pop a quick email to people, and yes, call, but sometimes you get a quicker response by email. If somebody can't get to the phone, I know right now we've got a couple of people answering our phone at the registrar's office, and unfortunately we are missing some phone calls because you might be on a phone call and you can tell you're missing one, and we're trying to call people back, but definitely email. And we can help you get your schedule adjusted.
Great. Okay, so what if they declared a major but have decided they want to change their major?
Same thing. You will work with the Academic Advising Center, because more than likely, if you've changed your major, they might want to relook at your schedule and make sure that the classes that they put you in originally still are the right fit for that major. We definitely don't want you to take a class that wouldn't go to your new major. So work with the Advising Center or with the advisor out in the department, and they'll help you get your major changed and get your schedule adjusted.
Okay, so last frequently asked question that I have, say a student has moved since they applied, how do they change their address?
If you want to log into OneTech, there is a link that you can go to immediately to do an address change. And it's always good to keep your mailing address updated, because that's where all your official notification will go. First time entering freshman, a lot of times your address is your parents' address right now. Then when you get on campus, if you're going to live in the dorm, you'll be assigned an address here. But I think it's always good to keep that mailing address to where you want your mail to go to. But you can do that from OneTech, and it's on the actual first page that lets you update your biodemo information.
Awesome. Okay, so we've actually got a number of questions already. I'm excited. So I'm going to go through some of the questions y'all have dropped in the chat. Again, continue to do that, or if you want to actually ask it, if it's something it's too hard to write and it's just easier to say, feel free. We definitely encourage that. So first up, who would I need to speak to regarding transfer credits? Looking to take some classes locally this summer, but want to make sure they transfer in. That is a great question.
It looks like that was from Justin. Justin, you can contact me directly at tpatrick@atu.edu, or you can email the registrar and they will direct that question to me. And we can go over any specific courses that you're wanting to transfer in.
And just to add to that, Meredith, on the Arkansas Tech webpage, if you go to the A to Z and go to T for transfer credit, TANDA has web pages built for every school in Arkansas that, let's just say you want to take a class at University of Arkansas Community College Morrilton, you can find that school in the list and it will pull up every class that they have, and it's going to tell you like what Comp 1 is there and what our Comp 1 is, maybe college algebra, history classes. So you could take a look at that, and then if you still have questions, email TANDA And because sometimes if they're real specific, we might have to work with the department to get the exact equivalency. But those resources are out there for students to use if they're just trying to come up with an idea for a class to take.
Awesome. Again, that's probably a pretty frequently asked question on y'all's end. So glad that was addressed. Okay. And I've seen this word mentioned a couple times. But this first question, when does work study open so I can select a job?
Well, there should be some, what they do is they put them out there on, oh my goodness, what is the name of it?
Handshake.
Thank you. Sorry, y'all. We actually have a lady in our office that is dedicated fully to, she does Pell Grant and work study. So what you need to do, and you can actually do it now, there may be some jobs posted out there. And work study, just so you guys know, we, like I said earlier, we offer everybody everything you're eligible for. So there's going to be a ton of people eligible for work study. Doesn't mean that you're going to receive that, and you cannot remove that off of your bill unless you actually get a job on campus. So what you would do is you would go on Handshake, and that is also, you can find that through your One Tech. And if you have any questions finding that, you can email me or the financial aid office, either one, and we can direct you. But you'll go out there and it'll show you a list of jobs, and you'll have to come up with a profile. And I think there's also a way to where you can link it to where it'll update you if there's any new jobs, but you would just apply online. And also, if you're like a biology major, that's one way we also like to tell people to get jobs. If you're a biology major, or you're like, hey, I really want to work in housing or whatever, you may want to contact them directly just to see if they have any openings in their department that aren't online. But just apply on there, and then you'll actually get with that department, will notify you if they want to interview you. And then if you've received the job, they'll complete all the information and let you know that you've received the job, and get with human resources and fill out the paperwork. Now, I think there was also a question down there, I don't have my chat pulled up, about whether you can use your work study to pay off your account. I'm going to let Alex address that, but yes. Now, Alex, do they have to sign a contract or sign something to where it will go towards their bill? Is that correct? We don't do it automatically.
Yeah, from my understanding, we do have some that bring, their work study in, they pick it up or whatever, and then they're like, can you just apply this? I don't know the protocol for Miss Patty who would do that. What she does, what they sign or anything, but I can definitely write that down and ask just to make sure. But usually students will pick them up and then, come back and be like, hey, I want to use this, or they'll just say right then, hey, put this on my account. But I don't think like you said, we never automatically just put it on there just because.
Meg, did that answer your question okay? Are you?
Yeah, Handshake's just like a little weird to get around for me, but I can figure it out.
I agree. And like I said, if you need any help, you're more than welcome to email me directly. And Tracy Hale is the lady in our office who actually handles the work study, and she's been doing it for quite a while. So if you want to email me, or our email in the office is fa.help@atu.edu, and we can get you, she can kind of navigate you through there if she needs to. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Then one more thing to add to that, Wednesday at 11, our career services office is actually doing a session as well. I would anticipate they'll touch on Handshake, and it'll kind of give you a little bit more insight of how to make that account and make your profile, and give you a little bit more down and dirty on that step. So next question. So I've done everything for state, but it still says I must apply. When I checked with state much earlier, they told me that it was because it hadn't uploaded/downloaded, but would soon. And this has been months. Should I check again? Does anyone?
Okay. Teresa, are you talking about you've checked on Arkansas Tech's website? Because that's what, whenever we put estimated challenge, it always says estimated challenge must apply. Just so, because like I said, we load it on every freshman's account. So we don't want you to think that you're actually going to get it unless you do go out and apply for it. So if it's actually on the ATU website that you're reading that must apply. Once we get the actual information from ADHE, that'll be removed from your account or canceled, and we'll throw on the account number that will credit. Now, there was an issue with ADHE. I don't know if it has been resolved, where everybody who had applied, it said that they needed a FAFSA, even though everybody already had a FAFSA on file. So if that comes up, know that they are working on it. But if it's the must apply on the ATU website, know that whenever we get the money, that'll be taken care of for you.
Okay, so Nelisa asked, can we see what is due by June 30th?
So for fall specifically, we'll run our processes on July 15th is the date that you should be able to see the fall transactions for tuition and fees. We usually can't do it any earlier than that because of summer classes and stuff like that. But yes, so June 15th is when we'll run our, July 15th is when we'll run our processes, and then we'll send you electronic bill once we get that statement to your One Tech email.
Did that help, or do you need any additional info in that? All right, so let's see. So if we're registered for classes and have a room and meal plan already, can we see the charges on our account? So that's basically back to that same question. So Teresa, did that help you as well? Okay, so next up are scholarships that are awarded automatically go to the final bill. So we kind of go into the details how the scholarships apply.
Sure. So if it is a ATU scholarship or an ADHE scholarship, what will happen is those will be automatically applied on there. So on the Arkansas Tech scholarships, whenever you accept those with admissions, they'll be put over there. They're going to run bills on the 15th of July. And so that night we plan to memo all financial aid over to your account. So it'll look like it kind of fake paid, I guess, is what you would say. So you'll have a credit on there. And so if you got $1,000 scholarship from Tech, it'll show $1,000 credit. Plus, if we have the challenge scholarship by then, that $500 will be on there. Now on the private scholarships, those just come in, those checks that you guys get from like your VFW, any local scholarships, we put those on as they come in. Come August, we will have so many of those. It's unreal how many scholarship checks we'll get in. So bear with us. We try to get those on just as soon as possible, but we have to log them into a book, get them put on, take them to student account. So it takes a little bit longer for those to get in. So once we get those, they will apply onto your account shortly after we receive them, but it is an automatic process. On the paper checks though, if your high school sends one or whomever sends one made out to you and Arkansas Tech, you do have to sign that. So if we get a check made out to Alex Phillips and Arkansas Tech, we'll put it on your account, put a see me note out there telling you to come into student accounts and sign that check. Once you sign the check, they'll let us know and we'll actually apply the funds onto your account.
One more question regarding local scholarships. Who do they mail those to?
Oh, you'll mail those to the financial aid office. So we're 105 West O Street. I forget our address. I've only had my one cup of coffee today. I believe we're Suite 206. So 105 West O Street, Suite 206, and that's Russellville, Arkansas 72801. And of course you can put financial aid on there and that'll get to us too, but that's where all of them will come to, and we'll get them. And even though we're working remotely, we have 2 staff members going in every week on Wednesday checking the mail. So don't worry if they send it, say this week, we're going to get it and we're going to get it put on for you. So people are still checking the mail and getting those put on for you.
Well, and I will drop that address in the chat in a second. Okay, so next question. What if you plan to pay some of your tuition off with work? I think we already kind of talked about the work study. Did that answer enough of your question of how work study would apply to your bill, Sierra?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. So next is, what do we need to do in order to do a work study? So that's Justin. So that was the same question earlier. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading these in order. Okay. When can we get a PO box? This is a one that we might have to direct to another area, but I'm gonna let. Does anyone have the info?
I wish I did. I don't know.
So usually what happens is when you move on campus, you go to our on-campus post office and they give you your PO box number. Because my freshman year, I didn't think that I had to get one, so I just tried using a friend's because I just didn't want to set it up, I guess. And I had a package with my name on it sent to my roommate's PO box, and they kept the package and wouldn't let me pick it up until like I made my own PO box, and then they let me get it from my own PO box. So you just go there.
So that's that real life experience that sometimes you have to go through. Okay, so this is another kind of job question. It's asking more about recommendations for incoming freshmen. I think Heather kind of talked about it a little while ago on if you have a certain interest, maybe reach out to that department. That's always a recommendation I personally would make. If you're really interested in agriculture, maybe reach out to the area that handles our farm. I mean, it's always a good go-to to start with your areas of interest. Do you know that some departments, the student workers are going to work a lot more than others? Our Office of Admissions, they are going nonstop. It is a fun office to work in, and I mean, you get lots of great interactions with future students, but you're not going to sit there and do your homework, as opposed to there's going to be some positions that you have that more of that opportunity. So definitely kind of think through what your interest is. Does anyone else have anything to add to that?
I don't know how fun financial aid is, but but our student workers they stay hooked up working too. So there's not a lot of time for, stuff like that. But any offices on campus hire, so Res Life, student services, anything you might be interested in there. Student accounts hires a couple. Financial aid is actually full right now with student workers, but any office on campus, my registrar's office, you guys probably hire some too, but just whatever office you're interested in. And like she said, they're all going to work hard. It's just some allow you more time for to do your studies, your studying, all that kind of stuff, and some don't.
Okay, so this is a really good question. How do you find out your ATU email address? Because we sent you a lot of stuff there, so you definitely want to know that. Morgan, can you kind of go into how they can get their ATU email addresses? I believe we put it on their letters.
Yeah, sorry. I have a hound dog that is being a little noisy right now, so I was trying to keep myself muted. But yeah, so whenever you apply, whenever you apply and get admitted, we send you your letter with all your One Tech information, all that on it, and it should have your ATU email. Whatever your One Tech ID is, that is what your ATU email is, except you'll add @atu.edu. So mine is mlunsford3. Whenever I go to log into my One Tech, I put mlunsford3, and my ATU email is mlunsford3@atu.edu. But that should be on your letter whenever you get accepted. And if you can't find it, just email the admissions office and we can find a copy of your admissions letter.
And our email is tech.enroll@atu.edu. Okay, so a fun question for Alex. How long do we have to pay your bill?
Okay, so we like to say, there's a lot of scenarios. We like to say, of course, when the first day class is the goal. Now, will you get dropped from classes if you don't pay? No, we do have a drop for non-pay process that I am in charge of, yay me. And so what we do in that scenario is I will send you emails and letters and text messages way before that date, even happens. So for fall, our goal is our drop for non-pay process will be September 25th is when we'll be, like I said, you'll get notifications way before then, before we just say, okay, but and do it. We do have payment plans, like I spoke a little bit earlier. We have some starting July 15th to about August 21st, and that's, I'm trying to say this as clear as possible. So 20% down would be the first payment, and you can find that on your one check account under the tuition and aid tab. It'll say set up managed payment plan, and it'll give you kind of a rundown of what, you know, that will look like for your tuition and aid. And then the second one will be, so the first one, 20% down, 4 equal payments from September to December is how that would work. And then on August 22nd through September 24th, that would be 25% down, and then 3 equal payments from October to December is how that would work. And so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is aphillips15@atu.edu. So, you know, we like to tell students don't stress. I'll help you out if I can, you know, and answer any questions. And, you know, hopefully we have everything figured out before that date comes. So.
And just a good reminder for everybody, every single student situation is slightly different. So don't hesitate to ask any department that you need help. That's kind of what we're here for. So we will, and if we're not the right person, we'll be sure to get you to that right person. So do not hesitate to reach out. Okay, so now we got a question from Teresa. It says, my son got an email last week about needing more info for a refund. Where do I call about this? He's looking at his account. It shows about $100 refund. Not sure where it's going or went.
Probably I would be the easiest to answer that. So just give us a call at our student accounts office, and we can look on your son's account to see what that's for. And sometimes it could be if you tried to enroll in direct deposit and something was off, that'll also send you that email. But we can definitely check. Just give us a call at 479-968-0271, and we have that information on our website as well. Or you can email me as well, and I'll look into it. So yeah, just holler at us and we can look and hopefully answer your question.
Thank you. Okay, we got another question about jobs. So it's for jobs on campus, can I contact maybe the bookstore or some of the restaurants, for example, to apply once I'm on campus, separate from work study? Handshake currently doesn't show any of those jobs on campus.
Yes, you can apply. You do not have to do work study. If you'd rather go, you know, to McDonald's or wherever, that is absolutely fine. The bookstore is not, I believe they're not work study because they're not affiliated with tech. I cannot think offhand, but yeah, I mean, you can apply wherever you want, just like a regular job. The only difference is, in case anybody doesn't know the difference in work study or like a non-work study position or just a regular job off campus, work study works around your schedule. So they can see that you're in class from 9 to 12 Monday through Friday. So you're not going to be able to work 9 to 12 on Monday through Fridays. They may work, you know, you may only be able to work 1 hour on Tuesdays, 3. So it's very, it works around everything, very flexible. Also, like in our office, and I think you have to do this, if you have class, say from 9 to 10 and it's canceled and you want to come in and work, we require a letter just showing, hey, you know, we didn't have class today. That way we know we're not working you when you're supposed to be going to class. But it's just very flexible. It pays minimum wage, and they'll kind of tell you how many hours you were eligible for once you get the job.
Heather, will you go a little bit more into the difference in federal work study and the traditional?
Okay, so federal work study, what that is if you were offered that, it is need-based. So not everybody is going to be eligible for federal work study. Normally, if you're like Pell eligible and you don't have a bunch of different scholarships, you're probably going to have work study eligibility. Now, what that is a certain percentage of the money comes from the federal government to pay for your job, and then a certain percent comes from the actual department. So of course, that's what the departments would prefer is work study students, because they don't have to spend as much money to pay you. The federal government is going to pay you. There are non-work study jobs that, you know, offered here on campus. A lot of times in the summer, that's what we offer as non-work study. That just means the department pays you the full amount. So that's kind of like getting a job off campus, just regular pay. Now we pay once a month on the 15th. So that is something to kind of get used to if you've had a job back home or you're working at a restaurant and you get paid once a week or twice a week. At Tech, Same way with the employees. We only get paid once a month too, but just kind of heads up, it'll be on the 15th of every month. You do have the option to get that direct deposited, or you can get a paper check. So of course, direct deposit is going to be a lot faster getting your money, isn't it, Alex?
Yes, it is, about 2 days, so.
Yes, so if you guys, that's also with your refund checks. I mean, Alex may have already touched on that, but direct deposit, you're going to get your money a lot faster. So did you have any more questions about that, Meredith, or do you not want me to expand anymore?
I'm going to expand just a little bit because you asked
Thank
about
you.
some restaurants, for example. So I was not a work study student because the getting paid once a month did not just sit right with me. I worked restaurants and daycares, and how she said work study works around your schedule. Russellville is a college town. Most places here will work around your schedule as well. Not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but Cracker Barrel being the least of them. So like, if you're working at Cracker Barrel, maybe don't go there. But I worked at Stobie's, which is a restaurant here my senior year, and it was awesome because a lot of places around here understand you're in college first. You're going to prioritize that first. If you need off Thursday night to study for a test, or I was in a sorority, so I needed off Monday night so I could go to meetings. They're cool with that because they're super used to working around college schedules. But there's a lot of places in this town to work if you want to work somewhere that's off campus. So, and if you want to get a job off campus, just walk in there, show up and fill out an application, and then be a little annoying about it and call them if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Little side note there. Okay, so the next question we have is Kaylin. So it's a question about your medicines, and you need to get a note to keep those on campus. Anyone know that answer off the top of their head?
I put a deal in the to everyone. Disability Services needs to be contacted. I put their email and their phone number, but you can go to the A to Z and just click Disability Services, and they will either work with you or they're going to get you in touch with the Student Health Services, where we have the nurses on staff that can give you the legal information for doing that.
Perfect. And actually, both of those departments are hosting sessions. So if you want to hop on, so Disability and Testing Services is Wednesday at 3, and conveniently Health and Wellness is directly after that at 4. So those are two great places, and they're going to be open up to questions as well. Anyone else have questions? That's our whole list. So now you just shoot them at us. We're here. Morgan looks excited for something.
I just like questions.
If not, then we can let y'all move on with your day, but we're super, super excited that you joined us. This is kind of one of our big first sessions. We've got a huge week ahead of us, lots of available departments. We will be sending out the daily itinerary about midday the day before. And again, if you're like, you didn't register for a session and then you decide, oh, I really should hop on that one, we're sending you all the links so you're available to do that. So feel free to do that. One little teaser I'm going to throw out is we're going to share towards the end of the week a way for students to connect with each other. We will be going live with an app that is purely for student connections. So look out for an email from us at the end of the week on that. Other than that, we're good. Oh, okay, hold on. Just
More questions.
thrown out. Is there direct Ethernet connection in each room or just internet? Are you talking about in the residence halls? I believe you're talking about in the residence halls. And my understanding, I was just on the housing Q&A, is they do have Ethernet in each of them. So, okay, last question. What's tomorrow's 10 a.m. session cover? Well, I've got my little schedule here. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay, so that's going to be a session to help non-traditional students. It's going to be with our transfer coordinator and someone from our e-tech department. So if you're any type of non-traditional student, basically anyone who's not a freshman straight out of high school, that you're just going to have a little slightly different experience than the majority of your incoming class. So it's a session specifically for those students to kind of get different questions answered and But again, it's just a little different experience. So make sure they have a place to go. Is there additional housing Q&A? So there's not another Q&A, but there are 2 virtual tours that they're hosting. And I would anticipate they would allow some questions during those. So those are tomorrow at 11:30 and let's say Thursday at 1:30. All right. Oh, I got the governor's music scholarship. Will you be getting that? Because I don't see it on my financial aid.
Well, I'm not sure what the governor's music scholarship is. It just the regular governor's scholarship you received, Alina? Like you applied online at ADHE? Maybe.
I'm just gonna tell you because it's a lot to type out.
Perfect.
I can't remember exactly what it was called, but my music teacher got a letter from the governor. I can probably find the paperwork, but that's in a completely separate room right now.
Okay.
Hold on, sorry.
You're fine.
And my teacher suggested me for it since I'm one of the only seniors who was in music this year. And I had received the scholarship for it. I'm not, like I said, I don't see it on my thing. I just found out I got awarded it like maybe less than a month ago.
Did your instructor or your teacher let you know that you got it, or did you actually receive a letter stating that you received this? Okay.
Because the letter was sent to the school.
Okay. If you would, can you just either contact me on the side? That way I can kind of see what the letter says. Because if it's an ADHE scholarship, they won't, it's kind of like the lottery scholarship. They won't be sending those until later, but probably in July or August. But if it's, a different, like a little private scholarship, that's just going to be whenever they send us the money, we'll get it put on for you. But if you want to, you can either call me or email me, and we can read the letter and see exactly where it's coming from, and I can help you a little bit better if that's okay.
All right. Where can I email you at?
I'm just htaylor @atu.edu.
Can you possibly put it in the chat for me?
Oh yeah,
because I'm not sure how to spell your last name.
You bet. Well, I apparently can't type either. Also, if you have a way to attach that letter, that would be perfect. That way I can see it. But if not, we can just look at what it, we can talk about it and figure out where it's coming from. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just dropped in our admissions email address. So if you have any questions and to get your where to go, you can put those in there and we will help get you to the right person. So any other last second questions before we go? Otherwise, I'm excited to see y'all throughout the week. We'll be popping in a couple different sessions, so I'm sure you'll see a couple of us here and there.
Hello, everyone. I know I've been here most of the time, but I just want to introduce myself. My name is Deidre Dillard. I am also one of the recruiters in the admissions office. I was just popping in to hear some of the questions and possibly meet some of you. I'm excited that you all are here. One thing that I did want to add to the question about the Ethernet connection, there is an Ethernet plug in each one of the residence halls, but our campus is also wireless. So not only do we have a full campus Wi-Fi, but each residence hall has their own. So the modems and aren't overloaded. Each residence hall will have their own Wi-Fi, so it will be wireless that you can plug into. But yes, you can also bring an Ethernet cord if you need to.
Thank you so much. I couldn't get a clear one if there were actually ports in the room for it, so thank you.
Yes, there are ports if you need it, but it is also Wi-Fi, so the campus is wireless as well. And sometimes just like any other Wi-Fi, it can get wonky. So I always had an Ethernet cord as a backup, just in case the Wi-Fi went out, I could plug in directly.
Yeah, I'm bringing a desktop to campus, and I don't have a Wi-Fi adapter for it. So I was just kind of relying on Ethernet, So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have a question. So I don't know if this is you can answer the question or not, but in industry, is there like, does the furniture move around, or it's like you can only place it in one place?
It moves around. My freshman year, me and my roommate were best friends, and we just wanted to like change our room up when we got back from Christmas break, and we pushed our beds together to one part of the room and raised our beds up so that we could hang bed sheets and Christmas lights and make a fort. You can move it anywhere you want to. And you can even raise the beds up. So some of the dorms already have them raised, but they have, you can lower them. And some people prefer to raise them really high so that they can set up their desk and everything underneath just to make more room for, sorry, Copper's trying to answer. So that they can make more room, just like if they want to put a futon or a TV stand or something like that.
Thank you.
All right, we've got just a second longer. If anyone's got a question, have at it. Otherwise, again, email us. We will answer. I promise you. Deidre, Morgan, and then if you see Cassidy on here, you will hear from one of them probably. Okay, this is a question that is going to be a little bit harder to answer. So how do you socially distance in a dorm sharing with another student? So that is, I don't think anyone on this panel will be able to answer that. I know our Residence Life is working on that type of answer, and they will announce that, I believe, once it is, once the policy is in place, but that will come directly from our Res Life office. And then, okay, last question. So the housing tour tomorrow, is it going to be a live tour? Deidre or Cassidy, one of y'all want to touch on that? I believe one of y'all is the one who talked to Laura, I think. Am I wrong?
I spoke with Laura, but it was mostly about the Q&A. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be a live tour or not.
I believe it's going to be with a student ambassador live. I cannot quote you on that 100%.
Yes.
I was assuming that it was, but then again, all of our residence halls are so far apart from each other. It would take like half of the time walking from each of the buildings. So
right.
I'm interested to see how that one's going to work out. Sorry, Deidre.
No, you're fine. Same here. I'm not sure. She sent me the agenda, and she said that, let me find my email. I'm in the wrong one, of course. She said that it was going to be talking about room styles, meal plans, how to get a roommate, and survival tips, what to bring, what not to bring, how to make friends, and then it's going to finish up with a Q&A. So it doesn't say anything about the live tour. It might be like something kind of virtual where they're sharing their screen and showing you inside of the room. It's kind of like what I'm getting from it. And then it's going to be like a Q&A session and talking about meal plans and things like that.
Thank you. So yeah, if after that you want a little bit more information, just email and we will try and get you. There is a link with pictures of every residence hall that we can be sure to send you. But other than that, our time is up. So we have got to go because we've got to move on to our next session. But I hope we will see y'all throughout the whole week. We have a lot planned and we are so excited that everyone is here to join us. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day.